You can start seated in any position that feels comfortable. Feel free to sit cross-legged, propped up on any props you have. You can be kneeling on any type of props you have, whatever you find to be the most comfortable. And once you get there, take a couple breaths to get settled. Let your eyes close. Notice any areas of tension you're feeling or restlessness. Allow your awareness to start focusing on your breath. Noticing wherever you're feeling the breath move in the body. And then bring your hands to the top of your ribs. As you inhale, feel your ribs expand into your hands. Working on our 360 breath. Feeling the ribs expand in all directions as you breathe in. Bring the hands a little bit lower on the ribs, maybe a few inches lower. Now feel the breath expand here. Maybe the middle of the ribs expanding, side to side, front and back. Place one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. Set an intention for this time of self-care, self-love. Notice your heart beating under your hand. Take a moment to pause in gratitude. You can open your eyes, check in with how you're sitting, make sure that your ears are over your shoulders and your shoulders are over your pelvis. Check that we're not tipping the pelvis forward, so sit up with the nicest neutral posture you can. Bring your right ear to your right shoulder and feel your left shoulder pull down the back. Noticing any stretching sensation along the left side of the neck. Check in with that 360 breath. If it feels good, you can let the chin lower down toward the shoulder if that feels like a good stretch for the left side of the neck. Begin to roll your left shoulder up and back. So really feel the left shoulder blade lift up, draw in toward the spine, and then pull down the back. So you can smooth out the circle, but really feel the shoulder blade do that full range of motion. Bring your left hand to the side of your head and just create the smallest amount of resistance as you lift the head back into an upright position. Switching sides, bring your left ear toward the left shoulder. Feel the right shoulder pull down as you stretch the right side of the neck. You can stay with the head like this or let the chin lower down toward the shoulder. Feeling that big 360 breath here. Adding that shoulder blade movement, lift your right shoulder blade up, squeeze it in toward the spine, draw it down the back, smooth out the circle if that feels good. Feel the shoulder blade move as much as you can, lifting up, squeezing in and drawing down. Bring the right hand to the side of the forehead. Create a small amount of resistance as you float the head back into its upright position. Reach your right arm up. Start to lift the shoulder blade up toward the ear and then bring it back down. So we want to feel that right scapula glide up as high as possible, moving into elevation and then drawing back down. Feel the right side of your body get a little bit longer and feel this lift along the right side of the torso as you reach the shoulder blade up. Now keep your shoulder blade in that elevated position. Let the head release toward the left shoulder. Add a small side bend if that feels good. Maybe letting the chin lower to the shoulder if that feels better. And really focus on taking that huge inhale into the right side of the ribs, as if you could create more space between those right ribs. Come back up, release your right hand down. Take a few shoulder rolls with that right side. Reach your left arm up. Lift the left shoulder blade up toward the ear and bring it back down. Each time you elevate that left scapula, feel a little bit of a lift along the left side of the torso. Lift and hold that left scapula into elevation. Let the head release to the right shoulder. Add a small side bend to the right. Feel free to lower the chin down. Really focus on breathing into the left side of the ribs, maybe the left side of the torso, creating a little length, space, and stretch there. Come back up and release that left hand down. Roll the left shoulder up and back a few times. Goal post your arms, bending the elbows. Make sure you're sitting with that nice posture. Elbows are coming right out of the shoulders. We'll start to retract the shoulder blades here. So without letting the ribs pop or the pelvis move, feel your shoulder blades squeeze in toward each other. It might be 1/4 of an inch. It might be a little bit bigger, but really feel that gentle retraction. And we'll add a little thoracic rotation side to side. So try not to move in the pelvis or the lower back, but focus on just the rib cage turning maybe 1 inch to the right, back to center, and to the left. Working on just turning in the thoracic spine. Move as slowly as you need, side to side, but keep that gentle retraction or squeezing in of the shoulder blades so they stay on the back of the ribs. If you want to take this rotation a little bit faster side to side, you can. But just check in with the breath every once in a while. Make sure it's not getting too quick or shallow. Come back to center, release your arms down and roll both shoulders up and back. Reach your arms in front of you with the palms forward, wrists are in extension. We'll protract the shoulder blades, spreading the shoulder blades apart, and then coming back to that neutral position. So the palms will press forward as we protract the shoulder blades, creating more space between the shoulder blades, and then drawing back onto the ribs, coming to that neutral position. So really try to just isolate the shoulder blades without moving the pelvis or the head. Now pause in that protracted position, really pushing the palms forward. If it feels okay, let the chin lower down toward the chest and just create as much sensation as you can here, almost like you're doming the upper back. Come back up to sitting in that tall position. Roll out the wrist a couple times in both directions. Bring the palms forward again in that wrist extension. Look at the hands, starting with the pinkies, lower one finger down at a time, slowly making your way into a fist. When you get to the thumbs, cross them in front of your fingers, pull your knuckles back in toward the forearms, flexing the wrists. Take a big inhale here, Big exhale through your mouth. One more time. Extend the wrists, palms are forward. Look at the hands, maybe your non-dominant hand this time, and do that same thing, lowering one finger down at a time. When you get to the thumbs, flex the wrist, pull the knuckles back in. Take a huge breath. This time as you let it out, let the jaw wiggle a little bit side to side to release any tension there. Now just shake the hands out a couple times. Moving into some seated cat-cow, working on extending and flexing the spine. You can make this movement as big or as gentle as it needs to be. Keep your focus on how big the breath can be as you move. If it feels good to make some circular movements with the torso or anything besides just rounding and arching the back, do whatever feels good to release any tension or tightness. Let's do a little gentle massage. Goal post your right arm so the elbow is bent. Take your left fingertips or maybe the left knuckles and start to gently walk your left fingertips anywhere along the front of that right shoulder or right side of the chest, noticing any areas you meet any resistance or feel some soreness, some tenderness, some tightness. You can use as much or as little pressure as you'd like. As you're doing this gentle self-massage, if it feels good, you can move the head and neck around in whatever way feels like a nice stretch. Maybe noticing that when you turn your head in different directions or have the chin at different angles, you might feel more of a stretch or pull in the area that you're massaging or mobilizing. So just move around in any way that feels good while you do this gentle fascial release. Come back up to this upright position if you're not already there. Reach your right arm out to the side. Without changing anything in the spine or the posture, reach your right arm behind you as far as you can, feeling a stretch or pull or opening at the front of that right shoulder. Maybe turn the head to the left. If it feels good, lower the chin down. That might be a huge stretch along the right shoulder, so if it's a little bit too much, go back to the head facing forward or not lowering the chin down. Release it down, and we'll do that all on the left side. Goal post your left arm. Adding that gentle self-massage, right fingertips or right knuckles will start to move around the left shoulder, left side of the chest wall, making any type of movement or massage here wherever you need it. Every once in a while, focus back on that big 360 breath. Feel free to move the head and neck, maybe playing with turning the head side to side or bringing the ear to the shoulder. Anything that feels good to open and stretch the left side of the chest, left side of the shoulder. Reach your left arm out to the side with the palm facing forward. Pull your arm back as far as you comfortably can without turning to the left. So we want to keep our body facing forward and just feel that stretch along the left side of the shoulder as you reach the arm back behind you. Maybe turning the head to the right, maybe letting the chin lower down. If you're somewhere that feels like a huge stretch, exhale through your mouth, make it as big as you want. Same option to let the jaw wiggle around to help release any tension here as you exhale. Come back to that upright position and release your left hand down. You can finish with your eyes closed, Hands can be anywhere. They can be at your chest and belly or on your ribs. Softening the forehead, relaxing your jaw, scanning the body from head to toe, noticing how you feel in your mind, your body, and your energy. Feel free to stay here as long as you'd like.